Granddad Dog, Peppa Pig, Fireman Sam, Postman Pat and his black and white cat, and Mr. Bull have all come across this really cool tunnel with numbers on. And Fireman Sam says, Peppa, what could be behind the doors? Why would they have numbers on them? So Postman Pat says, the numbers are 5, 1 and 6. Peppa moves over to have a look and says, wow, you're right, Postman Pat. What shall we do? Grandad Dog says, I think we better open the doors and see what's behind them. I think, Peppa, you should open door number 5 and see what's behind the doors. So Grandad Dog, Postman Pat's black and white cat, move out of the way so Peppa Pig can open door number 5 and see what's behind door number 5. So Peppa walks over and he jumps on door number 5. Wow! It's James, shouts Peppa. How are you, James? He said, I was only sleeping. He said, I think the other trains are sleeping as well. But he said, it's time to do a job now, so let's wake him up. So Peppa's woke up James in good time. He might have slept in. So Postman Pat goes over and says, I'll open the next door. I'll open door number 6, Postman Pat says. Wow! It's Percy. How are you, Percy? Postman Pat said. Percy said, I was just great. I was having a really cool dream about finishing this job off. So Percy's happy to be awake. And he said, wow, I can see Fireman Sam, Peppa Pig, and your black and white cat. So Fireman Sam says, right guys, I'm going to open door number 1. I'm sure we all know what's going to be behind door number 1, but let's open it anyway. Wow, it's Thomas, the tank engine. How cool is that? When they're all sleeping, it doesn't look very interesting, but when you open all the doors, it comes alive, everyone said. So Percy, James, and Thomas can all get on with their jobs for today now they've been woken up by the special characters of Fireman Sam, Peppa Pig, Grandad Dog, Postman Pat, and Mr. Bull. Don't forget to subscribe, says Peppa. Fireman Sam, Peppa Pig, PC Selby, and Postman Pat have all attended a car show. And the car show is about everyone showing how clean their cars have been. So they're all standing round outside the cars, talking. And Postman Pat says, hey guys, all your cars are looking great today. I'd really like to have a competition to see who's got the cleanest car. Postman Pat said. Peppa says, that's a really good idea, Postman Pat. So PC Selby and Fireman Sam both say, Peppa, would you be the judge if we got into our cars? Peppa would say, I'd love to be the judge. So Fireman Sam, PC Selby, and Postman Pat all go over to their cars and jump in. Hey, Peppa says, everyone's in their cars now, I can judge everyone properly. So Peppa said, who should go first? PC, come forward, Peppa said, so I can judge you. So PC Selby drives his police car forward so Peppa can see the side of the car. Peppa said, wow, you've done a great job, PC Selby, in cleaning your car this week. It looks fantastic. So PC Selby turns his car round so Peppa can see the front and the other side. Wow, this is really clean, Peppa said. Right, I think it's time now for either Fireman Sam or Postman Pat's next. Who wants to go next? Postman Pat says, I'll go next. So Postman Pat drives his van towards Peppa, and Peppa sees the side and goes, wow, this is a close competition. It's so clean, Postman Pat. How did you get it so clean? I took it to George and Granddad Dog the other day, and they did a great job to clean it. It's really nice. Oh, he slipped. Peppa slipped. Wow. Are you okay, Postman Pat says. Peppa says, I'm fine. So the last to show the car off is Fireman Sam. So Fireman Sam moves his car forward. Postman Pat parks up with PC Selby to let Fireman Sam show Peppa the car. Wow. Yours is looking great as well, Fireman Sam. I don't know how I'm going to decide who's going to win this competition. So Fireman Sam turns the car around so Peppa can see more of the car. So Peppa decided that because everyone's so clean, guys, I can't pick a winner between you. It's a really tough decision. I think the best thing to do is to make you all a winner. So he places Fireman Sam, Postman Pat and PC Selby all in the number 1 spot. So everyone's a winner, Peppa said. Fireman Sam said, that's a great idea, Peppa. So as everyone's a winner, Postman Pat, PC Selby, Peppa Pig and Fireman Sam had a great day at the car show. Don't forget to subscribe, says Peppa. The Lost Cookie. Peppa, George and Mommy Pig were making cookies. George goes over to the table to see the cookies that they made. Oh no, one of the cookies are missing. Where's the cookie gone? Mommy Pig, come here, quick. Look, one of the cookies is gone. Mommy Pig comes over. Oh no, you're right. One of the cookies are gone. George, have you eaten that cookie? No, George says. Peppa looks over there and sees 3 numbers, 5, 1 and 6. That must be the Thomas and friends. Mommy Pig, open number 6. See if our cookie's behind door number 6. So Mommy Pig goes over and opens door number 6. Oh no, it's just Percy. Mommy Pig likes number 6, Percy. So George goes over and says, I'll open door number 5. So George goes over and opens door number 5. Oh, it's just James. No cookie behind that door. So where could the cookie be? Peppa Pig says, right, I'll open door number 1 to see if the cookie's there. This is Thomas's door. So Peppa opens door number 1. Wow, there's our cookie. Thomas had it. Wow. So George, Mommy, and Peppa Pig have found the cookie. He was behind door number 1, which is Thomas, the tank engine. The cookies are made from Play-doh, Mommy says. So George and Peppa stand by the table, ready to eat their food. So now Mommy, George and Peppa can enjoy the Play-doh cookies. Now they found the one that was missing. Don't forget to subscribe, says Peppa. Granddad Dog and Peppa Pig are outside the garage, and Granddad Dog says, "Oh, Peppa, look at these rocks in the way. It's stopping customers from getting to the petrol station, the car wash, and the tyre shop. How are we going to move them?" Granddad Dog tries to pick one up. "Oh," he says, "that's way too heavy for me. We're going to have to call in Mr. Bull." So Granddad Dog goes off to the office and he phones Mr. Bull. Peppa Pig can't wait to see what Mr. Bull is going to do. "Hey, Mr. Bull, could you come over here? I need help, quick," says Granddad Dog. So Granddad Dog and Peppa Pig wait for Mr. Bull. "Hey, there's Mr. Bull now, Peppa. Watch out." So Peppa likes to be close to Mr. Bull's truck. So Mr. Bull gets out to have a look. "Whoa, you have a serious problem here," he says. "I can sort that out. I can move the rocks over there," says Mr. Bull. So Mr. Bull picks up the rocks with his big tractor arm. "Oh, I missed that one," says Mr. Bull. So with a helping hand, Mr. Bull gets the Play-Doh rock in to his tractor arm. "Where should we put him?" "We'll put him over here for now," says Mr. Bull. So one by one, Mr. Bull starts moving the Play-Doh rocks. "That's 2 out of the way," says Mr. Bull. "We're on to our last one now." Mr. Bull is very experienced in doing these kind of jobs with his tractor arm, but these rocks seem to be getting stuck. "It's alright," Mr. Bull says. "With a helping hand, I'll be just fine." So Mr. Bull moves the 3 rocks out of the way, and Granddad Dog says, "Hey, Mr. Bull, thanks. Now the customers can get to their fuel, car wash, and their tyres done today. Thanks for all your help." So Granddad Dog, Peppa Pig wait for the next customers to come in today. Peppa Pig says, "Don't forget to subscribe." And it's all cleared for the next customers. Thanks for watching. The train clean. Granddad Dog and George are getting ready for a special clean today. So Granddad Dog says to George, "George, we got special customers coming in today for a clean. They phoned me up earlier and they said They are really dirty. So George went and got the brush and the hose pipe from the cleaning station in Granddad Dog's garage. George says, "Granddad, I got the brush. I like the brush." And then George goes over and gets the hose. With a helping hand, George gets the hose. And then he says, "Granddad, I got the hose as well." So that we put the hose and the brush down. "So when's the customers come in?" "They'll be here soon," Granddad says. "Oh, here they are now." "Oh, it's Thomas and Percy. They are really dirty. They have mud all over them." "Oh," Thomas says, "it's been a long day. Could you clean us up, George and Granddad?" George says, "Yes, I'll clean you. But Percy will have to move out of the way for a little bit." So Percy moves out of the way while Granddad Dog watches George clean Thomas. Thomas says, "I can't wait to be clean. I can't see out of my right eye." So George uses the brush on the mud to clean Thomas's train. "Nearly there, Thomas," George says. "Oh, that's much better," Thomas says. "Grandad, did I do a good job?" "Great job," Grandad says. Thomas is really happy now. He's clean and he can see out of his two eyes. "You did a great job, George. We'll leave the hose until later. We'll hose Thomas down when we hose Percy down. Percy, come on. Let me clean you too." So Percy comes over. "Oh, Percy, you're even dirtier than Thomas was." "Yeah, we hit a big puddle and the mud splattered everywhere," Percy said. So George uses the brush again to clean Percy up. "Wow. Percy, you're really clean now," George says. "Wow, you look really nice and shiny. Can we hose him down now?" "Yeah," Grandad says. "We can hose down Thomas at the same time." So after hosing down Percy, Thomas comes and gets a little rinse as well. "Oh no, I slipped," George said. "I'm okay though." So George, Granddad Dog, Thomas and Percy are all nice and clean. "Don't forget to subscribe," says George. Thanks for watching. The special delivery. Fireman Sam and Peppa Pig are admiring their new fire truck. Peppa says, "Hey, Fireman Sam, you've got a really nice new fire engine." Fireman Sam says, "Yeah, I know, I just picked it up this morning. Thanks for coming round to see it, Peppa." So Fireman Sam is expecting a special delivery today. Peppa says, "What is it?" "Oh no, I think that's it now," Peppa says. So the special delivery is delivered by Postman Pat. Wow, Peppa says, I haven't seen Postman Pat for a long time now. Postman Pat's got his black and white cat. So his black and white cat gets out, jumps on top of the bonnet, so Postman Pat jumps out of the van to come and say hi. So Postman Pat says, hey, Fireman Sam, Peppa, I've got your special delivery here. I've had to put her on top of the roof because it's such a big parcel, says Postman Pat. So Postman Pat goes to get the special delivery for Fireman Sam. Postman Pat says, wow, this is very heavy, Fireman Sam. He says, what's in it? Postman Pat says. Fireman Sam says, oh, it's a secret. Peppa says, what's in it? Come on, Fireman Sam, let me open it. Let me see what's inside. So Fireman Sam says, go on then, Peppa. You can open it for me. So Peppa's really excited to see what's inside the special delivery. So with a helping hand, Peppa finally opens the special delivery. And Peppa says, wow! Look! It's Percy from Thomas and Friends. Peppa Pig is really excited to see Percy today. So Fireman Sam says, yes, for my new collection, I'm collecting Thomas and Friends figures to go on my office wall. So Peppa Pig was really happy to see Percy. The black and white cat, Fireman Sam and Peppa all admire the Thomas and Friends figure. George, Fireman Sam's just rung us up and said he's really low on fuel. So Granddad Dog has got the fuel ready for Fireman Sam to fill his truck up. So George says, yay, I can't wait to see Fireman Sam. How long is he going to be? Granddad Dog says, he won't be that long. There he is now. I can see him coming down the road. And George looks and says, yay, hey, it's Fireman Sam. So Fireman Sam drives into the garage and he's using Tom Thomas's 4x4 and he puts his lights on for George. Hey guys, Fireman Sam says, I'm really low on fuel today. Could you fill me up? So Fireman Sam gets out and says, I need fuel, George. Could you help me? George says, yeah, I can fill you up. But Granddad Dog says, no, George. The 4x4, because fuel's dangerous, George, and you have to be careful at petrol stations. Fireman Sam moves the truck around so you can fill it up. And George says, hey, Fireman Sam, if I can't fill up the 4x4 with fuel, could I sit in it? Of course, Fireman Sam says. It's a lot safer inside than it is outside. So George goes up to the 4x4 and sits in the driver's seat. Meanwhile, Granddad Dog fills up the 4x4 with fuel. See, George? This is how you do it. But when you're older, you'll be able to do it yourself. So Granddad Dog fills the Jeep with fuel. There we go, Fireman Sam. Oh, I just slipped on some fuel. See, George? That's why you can't be outside, just in case you fall over. All done now, Fireman Sam. George says, "Hey, Fireman Sam, will you take me for a drive?" Fireman Sam says, "Of course. Move over into the passenger seat and I'll take you round the block." So Fireman Sam and George set off in Tom Thomas's 4x4 to have a great drive. "Don't forget to subscribe," says George and Fireman Sam. I will see you next time. Hide and seek with George. Granddad Dog and Peppa Pig can't seem to find George. And Granddad Dog says to Peppa Pig, "Peppa, have you seen George anywhere today?" Peppa says, "Oh, I seen him earlier." And Granddad Dog says, "I bet that little rascal is hiding again. Should we try to find him?" Peppa says, "Yeah, he loves hiding, George does. He's always trying to hide from us." So Granddad Dog looks behind the fuel to see if he's there. Granddad Dog says, "He's not there, Peppa. Where else could he be?" "He could be in one of the jail cells," Peppa says, "but I'll check behind here first." So Peppa looks and checks on the left-hand side to see if he's there. This is a scary place, Gotham City. There could be some evil people here. So we'll check inside the cells, Granddad Dog says. So opening the cells, Granddad Dog looks in each cell to see if he can see George in one of the cells. Granddad Dog says, "No, he's not here." So he closes the cell doors after him. And he says, "Peppa, where else could George be? I bet he's behind these two doors. It seems obvious, but Peppa just likes to tease us." "Oh, there he is, Granddad. Oh, there he is, look. Granddad, he's there." "Oh, Peppa." George says, "Wow, guys, you found me pretty quick this time." So George comes out and says, "Didn't catch me that easy today. You looked everywhere but the doors at first," George says. So Granddad Dog says, "Peppa, you are a little rascal sometimes. You're always hiding from us, but we always find you." And George says, "Oh no! Granddad Dog fell on George." Peppa says, George, are you okay?" George says, "I'm fine. That was pretty funny," he says. So Granddad Dog and Peppa found George in the end. George will keep hiding from him, no doubt. Thanks for watching. Peppa goes for a walk. Peppa's walking, having a good time, and sees someone on the floor. Peppa says, "Hey, mister, what you doing laying down on the floor?" "Oh no, he'll need an ambulance," Peppa says. "Who should we call?" So Peppa calls Batman. "Hey, Batman," Peppa says. "Wow, Peppa, what have you found here?" Batman says. Batman says, "Whoa, this guy needs help. Peppa, jump into the ambulance and drive her over here." So Peppa goes to the ambulance and drives it into a nice position for Batman. Opening the back doors, there's a trolley to put the person on who's laying on the floor. So Batman goes to get the trolley, and with a helping hand, Batman's got the guy on the trolley, and he says, "Right, Peppa, I'm going to push him in now." So Batman pushes the guy into the back of the ambulance on the cool trolley. So Batman then closes the doors. Oh no, he fell back out. So with an helping hand, Batman pushes the doors shut. There we go, Peppa. Let's go. Let's get this guy to safety, Batman says. So Batman jumps into the ambulance with Peppa, and they both go off to save the person they found laying on the floor. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. And the guy's safe after all. Hey class, says the teacher. Since you've been such a good class this week, we're going to open a surprise Kinder Egg. Can anyone tell me what's on the surprise Kinder Egg in the class? Peppa Pig shouts out, "I can see Spider-Man. And there's also Hulk as well on there. And it's got a cool Kinder Surprise logo on the front." So the class are really excited about seeing what's inside the surprise egg. So they come down one by one to stand around the surprise egg. "Miss, I can't wait to open this egg. Are we all going to get some chocolate as well?" says Peppa. "Yes, we'll all have a little bit at the end each." So all the pupils are standing around the egg. It's time to open the surprise Kinder Egg. So Peppa starts the egg off, and with a helping hand, the Kinder Surprise egg is opened. "There's a load of chocolate here, miss," says Peppa. The other pupils can't wait to see what's in the surprise egg. Peppa fell over with excitement. Miss says, "Be careful." Wow, look at all that chocolate. So let's see what's in the surprise egg. "I think there's a Marvel surprise in there," says the teacher. So Peppa reaches in and scoops out. "Wow, it's Thor," says Peppa. "That's a cool surprise, miss. And we also get some chocolate as well, because we've been such a good class this week. You're the best teacher," says Peppa. Let's take a look at the piece of paper we get inside the egg. And as you can see, class, there's a load of collections to collect. So the class all stand around the surprise toy and can't believe how big it is. "It's a very big toy, miss," says Peppa. So the class enjoy the new toy and some chocolate for being so good. Thanks for watching.